Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Wow, I am seeing pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3 already. Beautiful souls, today we are asking what major blessing is just around the corner. We have 3 beautiful crystals to guide you in as well, and we have these 3 beautiful cards. So let me show them to you. Pile 1, we have the card of strength. This is the card of Horus. Okay, so this is for pile 1. Make sure that camera is focusing. Yeah, there we go. Pile 1 is the card of strength. Now, pile 1 is sitting with the crystal of aragonite. This is what it looks like. So that is pile 1. Okay, pile 2, you have the card of resurrection, Osiris. This is your card, pile 2, resurrection, Osiris. And this is sitting with the Apache tear. Let me show this to you. This is what this looks like. Okay, so that is pile 2. And pile 3, you have Isis, the card of salvation. So this is pile 3. And we are asking what major blessing is just around the corner. Now this is sitting with honey calcite. It's a piece of raw honey calcite. Let me show this to you. Beautiful crystal, beautiful energy. This is what the crystal looks like. Okay, so beautiful souls, I am going to leave the camera running just for a few moments to give you a little bit longer if you would like. You can always press the pause button as well. Trust your intuition. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me. Welcome back to anyone who is already following my readings and part of the Moon Magic Tarot community here. And welcome to anyone new. Beautiful souls, take your time, trust your intuition. If you feel that more than one of the cards or the crystals, the rocks is speaking with you, then you may want to check out more than one reading. Beautiful souls, I will see you in just a moment in the readings. Let's find out what major blessing is just around the corner for you. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. You have Horus. This is the god of kingship. Quite fascinating that actually every single one of these cards that came out for the 3 readings is a major god. I find that really fascinating out of the whole pack. Anyway, this is the card of strength, and this card generally indicates a victory of some sort. Or it says if you need to overcome something, you can overcome it. You're going to get there. You're going to be able to kind of overcome any obstacles. I'm going to draw some tarot cards for you first before we draw any oracles actually today. Let's see, I'm seeing this and this. May we please ask, what major blessing is just around the corner for my pile 1s, please? I'm seeing this, and I'm also seeing this and that one as well. What major blessing is just around the corner for my pile 1s? It's certainly a victory and a win. You have the card of abundance, the 3 of Cups. You have the Prince of Cups as well. Let me just check in with that camera, make sure it's focusing properly for you. I hope that's working. There we go. Oh, wow, you have the Magus as well. This is the card of the Magician. You also have the card of cruelty, the Nine of Wands. This is a very interesting energy. So this is a card of victory. I'm going to say, my beautiful souls, that if any of you have been experiencing anything, we have the Seven of Cups, debauch as well. Any kind of situation where someone has been cruel to you, basically backstabbing you or unkind, something is going to shift. I'm seeing you literally be the winner in something here. If you've found that, to be honest, if the cruelty is you being cruel to yourself, if you have a raging inner critic, sometimes that's what this card indicates. Sometimes it says, you know, you are giving yourself a hard time. You're being cruel to yourself. But I actually have a really strong sense with this card today that for some of you, and this may not be for all, if this is the case, it's a message for some of you, not all. But for some of you, you have actually been through a period where I think people have genuinely, either a person or for many of you, it was a group, actually. I think a group of you you were kind of targeted, if I'm honest. That's what's coming through here. Now, this is really interesting because I don't think the victory is that you necessarily confront them or get into any kind of scenario where you are, I'm not seeing you actually in a direct confrontational position here, but I'm seeing you rise with the Magus here. It's kind of like you're about to get the upper hand in something. We have the Star card, we have the Hierophant, and then we have the card of Valor. I think you've had to kind of pick yourself up, pick up the pieces from this. And something else is about to arrive in your world. We have the card of Abundance here. Excuse me. We've got the Prince of Cups. And whenever this shows up, I feel like we are able to overcome sometimes the emotions of the past, historically things, you know, what I would call the dredges of emotions, the residue of emotions from the past. I'm seeing you riding over and above something. But it's more than that, actually. It's almost like you achieve victory basically through success. You know, it's like if somebody set out to try, or a group set out, let's say you encountered, and I'm so sorry if this is the case, but let's say you encountered a group of bullies and they did everything they could to kind of put you down behind your back or to kind of sabotage your opportunities. And this is the point when, as I said, I don't see a direct confrontation, but it's almost as though you actually majorly succeed in something. And because you majorly succeed in something, it's kind of like, I mean, that in itself is victory, because actually if someone tries to sabotage your opportunities or tries to put you down and then you succeed in spite of them, it is a victory. And that's the flavour that I've got here. This is the major blessing that's just around the corner. You've had to work to pick yourself up and keep going, despite some sort of sabotage, some sort of backstabbing, people who'd rather, you know, because of their own difficulties. Let's put it that way. At the end of the day, there's always the root of something. When somebody behaves badly or not in a kind way, there will always be a root at the bottom of that. But I'm seeing you rise. You've worked at something, you've picked yourself up. This would be like, I don't know, if you were, let's say you were saving up to buy a house or something. I'm thinking of all kinds of examples, but let's look at in terms of the energy. You really, really saved, and then someone came along and kind of caused you a problem that meant you lost money, so you no longer had, that deposit for the house. And this is about sort of almost like you've done it, you've rebuilt yourself, you've picked yourself up, you've rebuilt yourself, and now you are rising. And not only are you going to get your dream home, but it will be bigger and better than the one you would ever have bought before. There's some kind of success coming to you. Let's get more cards. Let's draw some oracle cards. I'd like to know about this cruelty, actually. Before we draw the chakra cards, let's ask for a little bit more information about this element of cruelty. We have search, external, internal, and we have curiosity, bored, curious. I'm hearing curiosity killed the cat. That's a saying, isn't it? That saying, curiosity killed the cat. Now let's draw chakra cards. Despondence. How interesting. Okay. My beautiful pile one. You could really have been unbelievably despondent. In fact, you may well have been really despondent after what happened. This is the point where it's... For some of you, you've picked yourself up on more than one occasion. This is interesting, search and curiosity. You see, in a way, I think that you have managed to not lose your faith and your trust, or your search for the right kind of people, or the right person, or the right circumstances. I think you've encountered some really quite challenging groups of people. And this actually probably does go back maybe even to your family of origin, or something in your genetics where there have been challenges. But I'm seeing that you have persisted almost at times against all odds. You could easily have just succumbed to this. You could easily have sunk into what was expected, or just given up, or not bothered, or what's that saying, if you can't beat them, join them. But you haven't. You've kept going. You faced the depths of your emotions, actually, with the Prince of Cups. You've been to the depths and back again. And in a way, the god of kingship, Horus, he was a wise leader. He led and he won through wisdom, through understanding. I think you have been naturally led into different scenarios out of curiosity and in your search to find what you've really been looking for. But I think you have experienced some significant disappointments along the way. It's kind of like you've learned the hard way. That's what I would say, my pile one. You've learned the hard way. Now, there's a key being given to you here. You are rising and there is a key being given to you. There's a new pathway. So something is being given to you that kind of... it's like... It's payback time, but in a really good way, for all of the times you've had to pick yourself up, and you've never really lost faith. All you've done is gained and learned from the wisdom. But that has not been easy. I think this is a turning point we're seeing here, where you rise. And in a way, there will be a bit of a kind of I'll show you in this to people who thought they could put you down. There's something coming to you, despite everything you've been through. Let's draw another oracle card. Maybe have another card to give us a little bit of an indication about what is this turning point? What's the rising? Can we get information about this for my pile one? Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. Okay. This is interesting, because this is also telling us that you don't have to... I think this is telling us that you don't have to search for what you're looking for. I think it's going to come to you. Yeah, don't get despondent. I don't think you have to search, actually. I think whatever it is that you are desiring, that you're really wanting, I actually think it's going to come to you. I don't think you have to make it happen. It's almost as if something you've attended to the life lessons, and so now it can be just be brought to you. It can be, you can be guided to this. Let's get some more information from another tarot pack. May we please have information about how this major blessing arrives. I can see what's happening here, where you've come from. Ace of Cups. Okay. Followed by the Two of Cups. That's pretty profound. Ace of Cups, Two of Cups. We have the Three of Swords. Okay. We then have the Two of Swords. We then have the Fool. We then have the Chariot. We then have the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Wands. This is really, really interesting. Okay. Now, I think actually this is suggesting that your biggest hurts have come through some kind of a relationship that went wrong, actually. Maybe someone took you for a ride, or even for some of you, you lost someone and you just feel like life threw you the biggest and most challenging curveball ever. But I think this is about new love coming into your world. Now, whether this is a connection with the right people or the right person, you're going to put the heartbreak behind you. You're going to put that kind of indecision that sits within you, that internal conflict that says, almost like it'll never happen to me, the despondency. I think you're going to put it behind you. You've got the Fool here sitting under the Ace of Cups. You have the Chariot under the Two of Cups. I mean, this is moving forwards. And you haven't got to search for it or make it happen. It's going to arrive. This is healing something here. And again, we've got another fast card, Knight of Wands. Now, if you have experienced challenges within an intimate relationship, this could well be a love interest for you. But if that is not the case, and you had people that were cruel to you, a group of people, this is about finding a new group of people. It's the right people who will love you, that you can and you can love in return. The heartbreak is being put behind you. That challenge of despondency is being put behind you. I feel like your search is over. You can re-find curiosity. I don't think you have to go look for it, though. It's very interesting. Let's get some additional cards around this. Okay. May we have additional guidance, please? May we ask for some information about this? Those two cards coming through. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Death card. Wow, these are huge cards. Absolutely huge cards. This is a serious transformation. This is big. I mean, I know we're asking about a major blessing that's just around the corner, but this is really big because it's life-changing. This is taking you out of a place where you have been, I don't know, kind of slightly governed by what's happened to you before, to a place where I feel as if you are free from it. You can be healed. I do feel this has a real flavour of relationship around it. And there, because I think someone has been cruel to you. If you've had an abusive relationship, or you've been in a connection with someone who was really, really narcissistic. Now, whether this is a love interest or another kind of relationship, this is the point of healing. So whatever that was, whatever type of connection it was, this is you. As I said, it's you rising, coming out of that place of Solitude can be put behind you. This is the victory, that there's nothing in front of you that you can't handle, this card says. So if you are in any way at the moment, beautiful pile one, struggling with any sense of loneliness or isolation, or feeling like you're never going to meet the right person or the right people, this is what is just around the corner. This is the right people. This is the right person. This is the new beginning. These are the connections that sing to your soul. This is the putting down, the ending of something. With the Three of Swords, it's not an easy card, but it's very much a point of turn where the conflicts of the past can finally be put behind you. So if any of you have been struggling with loneliness, or feeling that somehow the impact of this, you'll never quite get over it, this is going to change, and I think it's changing very fast. Look at that, we have the Two of Swords showing up again, but this time it's a card of peace. It's like the fragmented pieces come together. I think the blessing that's just around the corner is the right person, or the right group of people. This is definitely, I think, a human connection, with the Ace of Cups moving to the Two of Cups and moving to the Ten of Cups. Let's ask whether we can get a flavour of what this person or people look like for you. Let's find out. Maybe ask what this person or people look like. Can we get a flavour of what kind of people or person this is, please? Okay, so we have the Four of Wands. Okay, so this is a group of people or someone who's quite kind of, I'm going to say quite worldly wise. They're probably quite well travelled. So it's interesting, if you are feeling quite stuck or isolated in a particular community, there may well be an opportunity for you to move. You could even actually meet while you're on holiday if you're going on a vacation with the Four of Wands. But the kind of person you're going to meet is someone who, they have a better world view. They have a bigger world view. I mean, they're not going to be narcissistic or limited. This is someone with the, very much with a world view. A bigger, kind of like a big fish in a big pond, rather than a small fish in a small pond. The Queen of Swords. Gosh, this is someone of strength of mind, sort of clarity of mind, someone who knows their own mind, actually. So this is someone, again, who's not going to be easily drawn into or swayed by what I would call the gossip and the drama that you get with more sort of like childish behaviour and narcissistic kind of behaviour. So this is someone who's very resolute, very clear, has quite a good world vision, really, quite a good perspective, very much a leader in their own right as well, actually, very able to make clear choices, very clear decisions. May we get any more information? So this could also be a group of people, but if it is a group of people, they're probably well led. You know, there's a sense of this being, there's just an energy around this person or group of people. They know what they want, they're very clear about it, and they come from a higher perspective. May we get more information about this person? Okay, Four of Pentacles. So this is somebody, again, or a group of people who, kind of, I want to say, like you, I suspect they've had to work through a few things, actually. It's partly what makes them who they are, makes them very resolute, makes them very clear. I think you'll find that you have a really strong bond with this person or people, because they will resonate with you. They've had to work very hard to let go of the past, in the same way that I think you are having to work very hard to have picked up the pieces and move forwards. And then we have the Justice card. How interesting. The goddess Athena showing up twice here. Look at this, our beautiful Queen of Swords here, and the card of Justice. I think this is someone who, I'm going to say, doesn't suffer fools gladly, actually, beautiful souls, but you will know where you stand with them. What you see is what you get. This is someone who says how it is. They speak the truth. They say how it is. They're not afraid to stand up and be counted, actually. And I think that's going to work for you, because you've been through situations where you've dealt with people who were underhanded, and what you see wasn't what you got, or you thought you were being, you met something, you were curious, you thought that you had met someone amazing, or you were singing on the same from the same sheet, and then afterwards you discovered you weren't. And that's what we're seeing here. This is someone, or find the right kind of people. This is the kind of people they are. They're people, or someone of the world. And yeah, you'll know where you stand with them. They're clear cut. They have a very strong sense of wrong and right. I mean, this would not be, I say not tolerated. I mean, I said that I don't think they suffer fools gladly. I mean, they just wouldn't, they wouldn't entertain this. It's just not on the agenda for them. And this is why it's so different for you. But I think you're going to love it, because it's what you need. It's what you want. It's what you need. In a way, it's like the exact opposite of the game playing and the cruelty and the childish backstabbing, and there's something quite spiteful in that card, I think, that came through straight away in this reading. That you have experienced at the hands of people who behave very childishly. And this is the opposite. This is very much a person who knows their own mind. And they're not afraid to say how it is. It's very refreshing, actually. Very refreshing energy. So my pile one, the major blessing that is just around the corner is someone coming in to your world. I don't think you have to necessarily search for them. I think they're going to kind of arrive. And I think it is a refreshingly direct and honest connection with somebody, interestingly enough, who has also had to work very hard to move on from the past in some way, shape or form. So a bit of a kindred spirit actually for you. And whether this is a love interest or a friendship, or indeed there's someone within a group of people, but I do see somebody who can lead here by example. Either way, this is what's going to work for you. I feel like the cat will get the cream. That's what I'm hearing with this card here. Yeah, the cat will get the cream, and that will be really super cool. You're absolutely going to love that. Pile one, this is your reading. I am thrilled for you, because this had an energy the minute that card showed that you've been through some really tough stuff. And how amazing, because this feels like victory, not through having to go and be confrontational, but victory because you get what's right for you. I mean, how amazing is that? And that's where justice is served, not through going out and retaliating and in a childish way back. And it's really hard not to be pulled into these kinds of things, and way to go for not, because I think you have truly walked away from things. But actually, yeah, this is victory through success, victory through finding the right person for you, or the right group of people for you. That's the real victory. So, in spite of everything that's happened. And I think it's really fab and very life-changing. Pile one, tons and tons of love. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. It's an absolute privilege to read for you. I post these readings every Tuesday, every Friday, and on Sundays another reading always, for weekly guidance, and shorts in between. Oh, and shorts are going to be getting a little bit longer here on YouTube. I think they're going to let us have up to 3 minutes. So I will still do some 1 minute shorts, but I may do some that are a little longer. So pretty much I post daily. So yeah, keep a lookout for the readings, and thank you. If you don't want to miss any, subscribe and press the little bell icon. And thank you so much just for all that you do to support the channel and for supporting me. Tons and tons of love. Pile two, welcome to your reading. You have Osiris. Now, Osiris is the god of the afterlife, but also of fertility, and also the god of resurrection. Very interesting that this stone, this Apache tear, is also connected to the afterlife, actually. Apache tears, this is it's made of obsidian, black obsidian, Apache tear, and there's a legend that comes with these stones that, and the legend is that some braves, some warriors, were being chased, and they would have been captured, and rather than be captured and leave their women and children vulnerable, they led whoever was chasing them away in a completely different direction, and then they leapt to their deaths from over a cliff. And the women and children later, having been protected by the diversion, came to the base of the cliffs and they wept. And where their tears fell, these Apache stones were formed, these Apache tears were formed. And I always feel, I don't know about you, but I can always see faces in these. They always, I really do see many, many faces. Whichever way I turn them, I see more. So it's very interesting that this is associated with the afterlife and resurrection. So sometimes this card says that something is ending in your life and you need to let go of it. And sometimes it says that a period of processing and ending has come to an end, and it's about something is to be resurrected, or you're rising again. Let's see what is happening here. Now we're asking what major blessing is just around the corner. Wow, your cards are very lively. Let's see what we are shown for my beautiful pile 2. I'm seeing this and also this one here. Okay, let's look at these first. What major blessing is just around the corner for you? This is very interesting. We have the Queen of Swords. This is about removing the masks that you feel you have had to wear. This is being your authentic self. If you feel you've had to, I don't know, keep your light under a bushel, not be seen, not be visible for some reason, I think this is changing. Something's being brought out in the open. We've got the Hierophant, we've got the Devil, we have the Princess of Swords. Wow, my goodness me. I mean, this is a card where we almost associate the story of Jesus throwing the moneylenders out of the temple. That's what this is refers to in the book that comes with these cards. It's like basically not, gosh, you're not afraid to say something here. You are rising. My goodness me. This is really quite interesting. It's really significant. We have the Nine of Cups, the card of happiness. We have the Prince of Swords, which is another card of kind of, cutting cords. And we have the Devil, which is also sometimes about cutting cords, letting something go. And we have the Aeon. How very, very interesting. Now, the Aeon is the card of judgment in a traditional pack. So something's reaching a point, a turning point. I almost feel that you are to be resurrected. You re-find your voice. You don't have to hide anymore. You can be your authentic self. You can cut any cords that bind you. I'm not sure what yet is coming, what is just around the corner, what major blessing, but I see you being liberated from something, whatever that may be. It's like if there's anything that's governed your world that has connected you to fear, that's moving on. That is no longer part of the deal. Let me move these cards up and see if we can make a bit more space. Now let's put this up here. I think we can do that. Let's put this here. We'll put them. Where should we put them? Oh, we'll just put them here. Let's get some more cards for you. Let's draw some oracle cards. This is very, very, very interesting. Okay, we have security. Okay, how interesting. Insecure or safe are the two sides, the polarities of this card. Actually, I'm putting this here. Okay, this is kind of, these readings are slightly beginning to blow me away, but they are actually. There's a turnaround in your circumstances, my beautiful souls. An absolute turnaround. It's like it's safe to be seen in some way. It's safe to have a voice. You overcome a fear. You overcome something where you couldn't be seen. Sadness, defensive and listening. Let's put those over here. Yeah. I think you've had to retreat. Or you've even been, hiding is not exactly the right energy, though it could be relevant to some of you. for some reason, you've not been able to really voice something, to have a voice, to say how it is, even to say what you want, to stand up for yourself. Something is changing here. Something is changing. It's like you find your voice. Or something that, I'm going to say something you didn't think you could have. Maybe for some of you, it comes back to you. It comes back into your world. Let's draw some chakra cards. What else are we shown here? Okay. We have miracle. We've got rejection and we've got creation. I think something is resurrected. Okay. Let's get some more tarot cards and see what we're shown. What exactly is resurrected? What comes back or comes alive again or is returned to you? What has a new lease of life? We have the card of justice. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the King of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the Nine of Wands. How interesting. Now this card is wanting to show itself as well. We have the Queen of Swords. I think you overcome something. The question is, this is a major blessing from around, just around the corner. What causes you to overcome this? Or is it just that you've worked through this? Yeah, I think you let go. You cut the cords from some things. There's some kind of fear around you, something that you have, maybe you haven't felt you could have a voice. Or there's something you really desire that you've always never felt that you could really acknowledge it or admit that you want it. For fear of rejection, perhaps. Maybe there's even something that you've talked yourself out of before. Almost because of underlying fears of insecurity. Something you would really desire, but you've never allowed yourself to believe you could have it. Something is to be resurrected here. I need more cards. What is being resurrected here? May I have some clarification about this for my pile? For my pile 2. Music. Listen carefully, for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. That's rather beautiful. This is just telling me that you can sing your own song, inspiration. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the fairy of inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. I do think just around the corner there's a gift. Creation here. Miracle. Music to your ears, that's what I keep hearing. I think, my beautiful pile 2, that some area in your world that is actually for you quite vulnerable. So it would be an area where I think it's something that you perhaps deeply desire but can't really take an ownership of it, or haven't previously been able to take an ownership of it, or you've never really been able to have the confidence to believe that you could have it. Something is majorly shifting here. It's almost like something happens that means that you can get out of your own way. Obstacles are no longer there anymore. So I'm curious as to what actually happens. What happens to spark this turnaround just around the corner. There's so much power here, so much energy. It's like this is loaded with empowerment. I mean, just the Queen of Swords showing up twice here, look. But in this card, so clearly cutting away the masks that you believed you had to wear. The Princess of Swords. Just not putting up with something anymore, not compromising, not settling for less. And the Prince of Swords as well. Cutting the cords that bind you. This is like you suddenly believe in yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. Something is happening that causes you to believe in yourself, to overcome the negativity in your head that says you can't have this. Something it's like really moving through and beyond something. I mean, seriously moving through and beyond something. What happens to cause this? I mean, it may just be that you have done the work, you've done the inner work, you've done the processing. But may I ask if there is anything specific that triggers this or will highlight that this is happening? So we have the card of the Ten of Wands, which is the card of oppression. I mean, this is, again, you see, this is a card where, you know, maybe there's a burden of responsibility that's placed upon you. Maybe you finally say no. Yeah, sometimes this card indicates, Osiris indicates that something in your life is coming to an end. I think you reach a point where you are able to say no to something. Now, whether you say no to something in yourself or in your physical circumstances you say no, excuse me, or you just, frankly, you get out of your own head and you say no to the stuff in your head. But you basically say no to something. You cut the cords and you're not tied by something anymore. You're not held back by it anymore. That is what we see, a period of literally being suppressed, not able to be yourself is coming. So this is a major blessing because it's going to change the whole landscape of your world. The question is, how is your world then going to unfold? You know, what causes, my first sort of question is, what causes this to happen? It could just be that you've done the work. Let's ask, what causes this to happen? Okay, you've done the work. Okay, you've absolutely done the work. My hat goes off to you. Knight of Discs. I mean, this is a card of harvest. And my goodness me, this horse looks exhausted. And we have the Four of Cups, luxury. You deserve this. You have done the work and you deserve this. So completely and utterly, way to go, pile two. Whatever is coming your way, this shift in empowerment, this not having to be anything that anyone expects you, not carrying responsibility for stuff that is not yours to carry. There's such a feeling of empowerment here. And this is what is the energy that is very much around you. This is what you've been processing. And yeah, you've done the work. I couldn't have had a clearer card. Let's now ask, though, what then comes from this? Because you have done the work. You can now open yourself to receive. We have the Four of Cups. How amazing. What will then come from pile two's amazing position of having a voice, being their authentic self, stepping up, not being afraid to be seen, to have a voice, not carrying the burden of responsibility for anyone else, just you being the most amazing version of you. What then comes from this? May we please ask? I mean, that is a blessing in itself, let's face it. But it's deserved because you've done the work. What is coming from this? Oh, wow, look at this. This is like your crowning glory. The Queen of Wands. I kind of want to say the world is your oyster. The Princess of Cups. How interesting, carrying an oyster shell. And there am I saying the world is your oyster. Wow. What is coming from this? Okay, we have the Five of Wands, the card of strife. Get some more cards around that. We have the card of strength. We have the Priestess. May we ask? Here it is. And we have the card of wealth. Okay. I'm going to say, I think really, my beautiful pile too, that your empowerment enables you to pretty much navigate kind of any challenges that you face. It's the landscape of your world will change. You know, when you change from the inside out, everything else changes. And we have the card of wealth, the 10 of Pentacles. If there has been anything in you that has stopped you, let's say, for example, you haven't been charging enough. People have been walking all over you or using your services, but you know, you've been scraping a living, but you find that the people who you've been helping, you know, are actually earning a really good hourly rate and they're never generous to you. This is kind of like you standing your ground and saying, well, hang on a minute, this isn't right, it's not fair, it's not appropriate. This is where you start to hold your own. The world is your oyster. I think that you can receive. I think you can draw the line, actually, with the card of strife. You can handle things. You can hold your boundaries. You can handle whatever comes. You can say both yes and no with clarity. I do feel this is leading more to what I would call health and wealth rather than, you know, relationship in terms of what you get. It does feel like there's a real sense of self-value changing here. You know, when you kind of know that you're worth something, but at the same time, it's quite hard to step up and ask to receive what you need. It's got this flavour about it of you finding your own self-worth, finding your own self-value, saying no to people who don't honour and respect you, and therefore bringing into your world circumstances that do honour and respect you and give you what you deserve. I think this is a massive turnaround, and I think the landscape of all of your world is going to change. But I think particularly your health and your wealth are changing. Because once you change that attitude within you, everything else kind of follows suit, actually. And I said something might be resurrected. For some of you, if there is something you have been working on, really almost slogging away at, but it wasn't bringing in enough, I think this would be the point where suddenly it takes off and you do get rewarded appropriately. Maybe you have been working really hard but not charging enough for your services, and you've been anxious about, you know, charging more. But this is where you kind of say, do you know what, I actually need to, and you put up your prices and everyone is completely fine about it. They're like, well, yeah, you know, you absolutely deserve this. I can't believe you've been charging so little for so long. It's like there's validation, there's acknowledgement. Something you have worried about is transformed. And at the root of this is your own empowerment. Again, just not being afraid to say what you want and how much it should be and what you should charge and your own value. And you're not in any way negating anyone else's, but you're actually looking after yourself as well. Indeed, you will be an inspiration to others. Perhaps it's been, you know, I suspect some of you have been quite big people pleasers. And, you know, being a people pleaser has roots in all kinds of things. There are origins for that. And actually, we develop a lot of really lovely skills. Some of the loveliest people I know are people pleasers. But actually, if it's out of balance, that needs to be addressed. They've got to start looking after themselves as well. So I think this is a point where you really start to come into your own. You're no longer fearful of asking for what you need. You're no longer fearful of saying no to people who might take more than they should. Something is coming to an end in that kind of way, and you are stepping into your own source of empowerment. And it is the health and the wealth that is coming from this. I mean, that is the blessing, the major blessing. But I do really want to acknowledge you did the work. But it will feel like a miracle, because I think this is going to happen quite quick, actually. You know, it's one of those times when you just suddenly realise you have a voice, you can never go back. And why would you? And suddenly the world is your oyster, because you're not afraid to own what you really want. There could be an ambition or a desire that you have always wanted, but you've never quite felt that you could take an ownership of it, and now you can. It's like you can dream big and believe in it and not be afraid to have that. Wow, pile 2. I mean, this is amazing. My beautiful pile 2, this is a really big turnaround, because I think ultimately it will affect, perhaps initially, your health and your wealth, but ultimately I think this is going to affect the whole landscape of your life. Because once you step into a space of empowerment where you're not held back, I mean, it really does energetically change everything. Wow. Well, this is the blessing that is just around the corner. I think it's the health and wealth that come from all of this work that you have been doing. Way to go, pile 2. I am sending you the biggest hug ever. I mean, this is real. This is real stuff. This is the processing of real life stuff and coming out on top. Way to go, pile 2. Tons and tons and tons of love, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your likes, for your shares, for subscribing, and all the things you do that support the channel and me and one another. Tons of love, pile 2. I look forward to seeing you for another reading really soon. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have Isis, the divine goddess of Egypt. She's all about protection, actually. This is the card of salvation. Wow, now it's very interesting, because honey calcite is a card of leadership. And this card is a stone of leadership. This is all about actually kind of overcoming something, or getting out of a tricky situation, or the right help coming at the right time, or being protected. What major blessing is just around the corner? Let's find out. What major blessing is just around the corner for my pile 3? We have these cards. I'm seeing this, also seeing this, and that one there, and that one there. Gosh, loads coming through for you. And I'm also seeing, just that one there. That's the one I'm after. Okay, let's see what we are shown. So we have the devil. How interesting, when we talked about getting out of a tricky situation. We have the card of valor. We have the card of swiftness. We have the card of peace. Okay, so this is 7 of wands, 8 of wands, 2 of swords, then 10 of wands, oppression. We have princess of discs. We have disappointment, 5 of cups, and 7 of swords, futility. Okay, my lovely souls. Pile 3. I think an answer to a problem is going to be the major blessing that is just around the corner. There's going to be a solution to a situation that you are struggling with or having a conflict with. For some of you, it feels quite overwhelming. For some of you, you're really struggling to see the way forward with this. And I'm really sorry if that is the case. If that is not a message for you, then it will more likely be for someone else. But this feels like your back is up against the wall. And the major blessing is that help is on its way. And help could be from someone, but it could also be that you find the solution here, because I think you may take action here with the 8 of wands, but you'll take action because you'll know what to do. I think the challenge here is that there is some kind of a situation around you where you feel like you absolutely have no agency, basically. Honey calcite is a stone of leadership, but it could be one of those situations where you have been delegated responsibility, but you don't actually have any agency to do anything about it. You know, those kinds of scenarios where you're in a situation where somebody else is pulling the strings and you end up, you're kind of the person on the, you know, who takes the brunt of it. It's like the buck stops with you, but somebody else is creating the issue or the problem. So you feel disempowered. You feel like you don't have agency. That is what we're seeing here. Now, you will be able to take action. The major blessing that's just around the corner is that you will be able to find the right solution to sort this out. Now, it feels as though it's disappointing that you're having to almost, but I do feel you will be able to know what to do. I think, okay, it could come from someone else, but it is almost certainly and most likely to come from within you. With the Princess of Discs, this is a card, I mean, she is pregnant. Something is coming from within. Something is birthing from within. Whatever feeling there is of being trapped, hemmed in, you'll be able to find a way out of this. Let's draw some oracle cards and see what else we're shown here. May we please find out, what is this major blessing that is just around the corner? Curiosity. This is interesting. I think that came out in pile 1 actually. So if you were drawn to pile 1, that could be a message there for you. We have also security. How interesting, this was in pile 2. If you were drawn to pile 2, that could be a message for you. Okay, right, how interesting. Now, we have 2 cats. Cats have 9 lives. Curiosity, security. Okay, I think that the solution might be, it might come sort of what I would say, not in the form that you were expecting. You know, when you get an out-of-the-box solution or something that feels like, well, that might work, but it's not what you thought you would do. But I think there is an out-of-the-box solution, and something is definitely coming to, it could be a moment of inspiration where you suddenly see what you need to do to move forwards. It just pops into your mind, but something is coming to assist you in moving out of the situation that is currently feeling, where you're feeling hemmed in, or as if you don't have a voice, or you can't say something, or you can't, you have no agency. So, and of course we don't have control over other people, but you do need to know that you have control over your actions and that you are protected to take action. This is also a card of protection. For some of you, you could be stepping away from quite a challenging situation, but it's one where you feel held back because perhaps you don't have the resources. I mean, this could be the kind of scenario where you're in a relationship and you are both reliant upon a joint income, but you don't have your own income, and therefore, but you need to get out of this. It's not a healthy situation, but actually you feel as if you don't have the resources to move forwards. The answer is going to come to you, and we'll ask for more information. But that there is something, or it just could be a situation where you feel you've kind of got yourself backed into a corner. Perhaps someone isn't hearing no. But yeah, you're going to be curious, rather than feeling hemmed in by what's going on and sort of drowning in the disappointment of it, because it's fair comment, it's really disappointing if something doesn't work out. And that's a very powerful emotion. But actually, things are not futile. This is you can actually take action. Let's get more cards for you. Yes, we have abundance. Look at this. This is a fascinating card. Can you see that we have 2 people here sitting on the edge of the pavement here? Now, this man here is really worried. He's dropped a coin through the drain and, he's desperately concerned and anxious about it. He's, it's like it's the end of the world for him. Whereas this little girl is very innovative. She's got a magnet on a string and she's going to actually drop that down here and pick up the coin that she can see that's below. So she's innovative. There is something here about being very innovative. Some of you may have to be finding somewhere else to live as well. That may be the situation you're in, where you feel hemmed in, where you feel that you need to move. Maybe there's a timing thing going on where you're moving or something like that. We have a house for sale, but there is a creative, innovative answer here. Be curious, think outside of the box here. Yeah, self-worth. Okay, this is very interesting. The story of this card also is that this little Inuit child sees this amazing throne. It's like a vision, and actually when he goes home, I think nobody believes him or something like that, but actually the vision appears again. This is about believing in yourself, believing in yourself, and believing in, trusting in the solution that you think. I think there is a solution that will come to you, and it will be the right one. This is trusting in yourself to follow through with that. May we ask about this out-of-the-box solution for my pile threes, please? So we have the Page of Cups. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Hermit. Okay. I do think security is part of the issue here, or fear of stepping out of the box, actually, here. I'm going to say fear of going it alone, actually. I think for some of you this is about stepping away from potentially someone, or or a situation that's you feel cornered by. And I think for some of you it feels like you're going it alone, and I think that's part of the challenge here. That's part of what makes it quite difficult for you to feel that you can act, because it does feel like you might be going it alone or doing it your way. But this is probably a time when I wouldn't be holding on to something with the Four of Pentacles. Let's get some more information. Maybe ask about how this out-of-the-box solution might occur, or what this might be about. So we have the card of Temperance, which is super lovely, because that's a card of balance, and we also have the Rainbow Bridge of Healing coming in here. We then have the Page of Wands. Okay. We then have the Seven of Swords. This is getting really fascinating. We then have the Three of Pentacles. I'm getting your message here. Okay. And then we have the King of Swords. Okay. This is really, really interesting. So this is about turning it on its head, actually. This is turning the situation on its head. Whereas at the moment you're feeling pretty much hemmed in by a certain situation or someone, actually. This is, and I feel like you're waiting for someone to guide you out of this, or to give you a solution. And this is turning it on its head and asking you to come up with a solution. Asking you to think about a way forward. It's that serenity prayer coming through again, which pops into readings every now and then. God, give me the grace to know what I thank you so much. Whenever I flounder with this, because I never remember the exact words, thank you so much, because I know one of you wonderful people will put it into the comments. God give me the grace to recognise what I can do, to do what I can do, to recognise what I can't do, and to know the difference. So then that's the gist of it. I think there's something you can actually do here. I think there is an action you can take. Rather than waiting. See, I think for some of you as well, I feel a bit like you're in a position where it's a little bit of a sitting duck, where you're waiting for someone to give you something or to make you an offer. And rather than waiting for someone to give you an offer, curiosity. I think this is about reaching out and initiating something. That's what I think we're being shown here. With the Four of Pentacles as well, not holding on to something. Yeah, I think this is about you initiating something, initiating a conversation, initiating a potential exit. I think you need to initiate something here with the Page of Wands. And once you initiate something, I somehow think it's going to fall into place. You know, justice will be served. We've got two cards of balance here with the King of Swords and Temperance. I think this is about, yeah, I think you've got to get the ball rolling rather than waiting for something to happen. Yeah, I do. I think start to be curious, start to look at the different options that there are around you, because it's only in looking for the different options that the solution, the wheel will turn and the solution will come to you. And it may not be in the shape or form that you think, but the solution will arrive. But you've kind of got to get the ball rolling initially to be able to, almost for the universe to deliver you the solution. You've got to kind of get started. That's what we're seeing here. Let's get some more information, my beautiful pile 3, about initiating this. We have Wish Wisely and Moon Energy. How interesting. Okay. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. How beautiful. And Moon Energy. You know what this is connecting me to is new moon wishes and new moon intentions. But we can hold the energy of new moon wishes and new moon intentions every single day in our lives in terms of manifesting. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I write a moon diary and I do a lot of stuff around the moon. If you want to make sure you never miss one of those videos, just subscribe and press the little bell icon. But basically, at the new moon, it's traditional for us to set wishes and intentions. And sometimes we lump those together, but they're very, very different. So a wish is speaking from the heart. It's the thing you desire. It's what you want, or indeed what you don't want. An intention is what you're going to do about that. So if you set a wish, for example, if you wanted, I don't know, to buy a new car, to get a new car, you know, your intention, you know, your wish might be, you know, I wish to easily attract the finances to enable me to buy the new car that I desire. But your intention would be, and I intend to go and test drive cars so that I am in the energy of the cars and I begin to formulate which one I want to help the universe to support me. So the intention is the doing and the wish is the starting point. We can carry that energy with us in our manifestations all of the time. This is encouraging you to get really still and wish wisely, to get really focused on what you do want rather than what you don't. So wherever it is in your world where you feel like you have no agency or you feel a bit hemmed in or something is not, the door isn't open for you, get really still on your ultimate desire. Get very clear on it with the King of Swords energy. Very, very, very clear. Get focused. Listen to your heart and hold the wishes, hold your desires with passion. And then initiate actions, like the intentions, initiate actions to kind of begin to open those doors. You can do it quietly. You can start to explore if you're feeling that you're in a situation where you're anxious about, you know, what will be the outcome of curiosity. But I think it's curiosity and initiating things that is going to bring the solution to you. So whatever your circumstances, if you start to focus on what you do want, and then initiate actions that help to expand that, even it may not be giving you may not have the agency to make that happen yet, but start to take you into the realm of possibility. The right answer and the right solution and the right resources will come to you. 3 of Pentacles, you know, it'll be gifted to you. Let's draw some more cards here. May we ask for any more guidance and information about how this solution might arrive. Okay, we have the card of strife. Okay, this is the 5 of Wands. How might this solution arrive? How might this solution arrive, may we ask, please? May we ask for more information and guidance, please? And then we have the 10 of Cups. Interesting. I think it's going to come when you least expect it. With the 5 of Wands here, the card of strife. I think it will literally, you know, this is the major blessing that's just around the corner. I think it's going to come just when you least expect it. And I do think it will be in a very, I think it will arrive in a form that is not what you thought. But the key here is for you to initiate things, to get the ball rolling, to do what you can rather than focus on what you can't. And however those steps are, those tiny steps, just be curious, tentatively test the waters. It's like if you're wanting to move and you just haven't got the resources to move. It doesn't stop you from beginning to explore the possibilities that are out there. It's in exploring those possibilities that something is going to get triggered energetically, and then something will be gifted to you to kind of make this possible. But you've kind of got to open doors. And if your situation is connected to any kind of oppression, you then do so quietly. Start to tentatively make inquiries, beautiful souls, about the options that are available to you, because it's through making those options that you then receive an offer that enables you to actually, re-establish balance in your life, for something to come back in a good way to support you. Yeah, if you are in a tricky situation, if any of you are, and truly I am picking up on that for some of you. Obviously, this is a reading that will reach many, so this is not a message for all of you, but it is a message for some. If you are in a tricky situation, handle it with tact and diplomacy, quietly, tentatively reach out. If you're in a genuinely difficult situation where maybe you are in an oppressive situation or someone is treating you badly, beautiful souls, start to explore your options, because actually someone or the right people or the right someone will step in to assist you. You'll get what you need to be able to move through and beyond this. That's what we're being shown here. So beautiful souls, let's see if we can be shown something of the outcome here. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man, wonderful, with the Queen of Discs. Now the Hanged Man, so something that feels stuck, is going to turn around. Very interesting, the Queen of Discs is a card in this pack. We have the Ram, so we've got a new beginning here. And we have this desert behind her. I mean, this is a card of harvest, where having come through a really barren period where nothing has been working, she, again, no agency, no vitality, she can look behind her. The past is now behind her. Interestingly, she's on very solid ground. It's a message that comes through with these cards. She's actually on solid ground. So I think what we're seeing in the future is that this situation you are not going to be stuck where you are. It is going to shift and change. If this is a financial situation where you're really burdened, this is going to shift and change. Start exploring options. See tentatively what you can discover, and the right job or the right resources will come to you. This is very much about looking at what, tentatively, curiously exploring what could be possible rather than sitting in a space where it feels nothing is. Okay, pile 3, let's get a few more cards for you just to see if we can get a sneaky peek into where this goes in the future maybe. Could we possibly have a little bit more information, please? Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So we have the Two of Discs, change, and we have the Two of Cups, love. You could not finish with a greater affirmation, given that it really does feel that you are feeling stuck, hemmed in, unable to see a way through. You could not get two more beautiful cards together. Yeah, whether this is emotionally, whether this is physically, whether this is health circumstances, relationship, whatever is not okay around you. My beautiful souls, this is shifting, and this is the blessing that it is just around the corner. But you do have to sort of tentatively take some form of step towards curiously exploring the possibilities of what could be rather than sitting in the space of what can't. And from that, the rest will emerge. Pile 3, this is your reading. I am sending you the biggest hug ever, tons of love, and truly, truly, my heart is with you for any of you that are struggling to come through a challenging or an oppressive situation. The universe has your back on this. I mean, look at these cards of affirmation. You will come through this. Tentatively start to reach out. You can do so quietly, tactfully, but tentatively reach out, and what you need will be gifted to you. You know, the right support will come in at the right time. Pile 3, this is your reading. I am sending you the biggest hug ever. Tons of love. I post these readings on a Tuesday, a Friday, and on a Sunday as well. I post readings for the week. And actually, I post readings daily. I post shorts on all of the other days. So pretty much I post readings every day, whether it's a short one or a big one. So do, subscribe, press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. And I also, of course, post moon updates and all kinds of other exciting stuff. So beautiful souls, keep a watch out for all the stuff that's coming. And I am sending you so much love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and just all that you do to support me and also to support one another. Tons of love to you all.